How to force your brain to build assets, the Kinetic Protocol. Right now, you are trapped in a state of potential energy. You have the ambition, you have the digital skills, and your Notes app is packed with brilliant ideas for automated systems and digital assets. But when you sit down at your desk, a strange mental paralysis takes over. Your brain instantly starts negotiating with you. It tells you to check your metrics, watch one more tutorial, or clean your desktop. You are experiencing the brutal law of mental inertia. A brain at rest stays at rest. You aren't lazy. Your biology is simply doing exactly what it was evolved to do.
Conserving energy by avoiding the friction of creation. If you want to break out of the 99% and step into financial freedom, you have to stop waiting for inspiration. You need to run your mind through a mechanical bypass that forces your brain to build. Welcome to the Kinetic Protocol. The 99% operate entirely on chemical motivation. They wait for a spike in dopamine or a wave of late-night inspiration before they write a line of code, script a short, or set up a funnel. Because chemical motivation is highly volatile, their execution is completely inconsistent. They stay trapped as perpetual consumers. But the 1% operate on kinetic architecture. They understand a fundamental law of cognitive psychology. Action precedes clarity, and movement creates motivation. They don't wait for their brain to want to build. They design mechanical constraints that give their brain no other choice. They convert raw discipline into automated momentum. Phase 1. The kinetic trigger, the 5-minute sandbox. The hardest part of building any asset is the transition from doing nothing to doing something. Your brain panics at the thought of a 3-hour production session, so it triggers procrastination to protect itself. To bypass this, you must apply the kinetic trigger. When you sit down, tell your brain you're only allowed to work on the asset for exactly 5 minutes. You're only writing 3 sentences of script or opening the back end of your automated system. By lowering the cognitive barrier to 0, you trick the brain's defense mechanism. Once you're in motion, physics takes over. Friction decreases, potential energy becomes kinetic, and your brain naturally downshifts into a deep flow state. Phase 2. Asymmetric dopamine inversion. Your brain currently associates consuming content with instant reward and producing assets with delayed pain. The Kinetic Protocol completely inverts this relationship. You must implement a strict no-input gate for the first 2 hours of your working day. You do not check notifications, emails, or analytics. If your brain wants its daily dose of dopamine, it must earn it by generating value first. Frame your mind as a factory, not a warehouse. When you force your brain to solve the creative problem of building an asset before it receives any external stimulation, you literally rewire your neural pathways to crave the high-yield satisfaction of production. Phase 3. The velocity log, velocity over perfection. The biggest trap keeping self-aware creators average is perfectionism. You spend 3 days editing one short or tweaking one digital product because you are terrified of a messy launch. Perfectionism is just fear in a premium coat. The Kinetic Protocol demands velocity over precision. In the initial stages of building leverage, volume is your greatest data source. The 1% build assets like a manufacturing line. They launch the minimum viable product, analyze the immediate feedback, and optimize the system while it is already live. Your metric for the day isn't, did I make something flawless? It is, how fast did I turn an idea into a functional, live asset? Your mind is either a tool you command or a cage that locks you into mediocrity. Every hour you spend overthinking, overplanning, and waiting to feel ready is an hour you actively spend investing in the 99% lifestyle. The calendar is moving, your life is changing, and the window to build true leverage is shrinking. You can close this video and let your brain slide right back into its comfortable, static routine. Or you can pull the trigger. You can start the engine, embrace the initial friction, and force your mind into motion. The herd will continue to wait for inspiration. Let them stay frozen. We are building the machinery. If you're ready to apply the Kinetic Protocol, break the inertia, and force your brain into absolute production mode, lock in your momentum right now. Drop a comment below and type kinetic mode. Turn your potential into power. Welcome to the 1% circle, where you learn how to play better in the game of life.